Hi Megan, you're still having a few problems with this, so I thought I would kind of talk you through it a little bit. I thought that might be easier. So looking at your document you had, this is your beginning question, looking at what type of material, which of the materials would slump at the lowest angle, either sand or gravel. So when you're testing that and you're writing your procedure to test that, down here under the data to collect, I told you that to find the angle of repose, you needed to know the distance from the table to the lifted edge of the box. So you have to know this distance right here. And when you measure that distance is over here, so you're measuring it when you're measuring this height when you first see or hear movement. So in the lab, get this to click on it, there we go. In the lab, what's going to happen is that the students are going to lift the box up like this, and when they first hear movement, then they're going to stop, and then they're going to measure this distance right here. So they're going to measure from the table, right, up to here. So we're not looking to see, we're not checking to see if they've started to slump. It's not a yes or no sort of thing. There's actual data that's being collected, and that is the height to the bottom of the box. That's this part right here. So we measure in metrics in science, so we would not be using inches as you have recorded in here. This part here shouldn't be filled in just yet. You don't need to have the length of the box in your data table because that's a controlled, that's a control, right? Because that's the box is the box the whole time. So that's not going to change. You're not lifting it incrementally. You're lifting it until you hear it. And so this part here should also be blank because we're lifting it up. Now, I do want you to go back into the science skills module and look at the how to write a procedure, because while the first time that when I replied to you earlier this morning, when you had 34 repetitions, I'm not sure if that was a typo and you really meant 3 or 4. But I do want you to go back to that science skills section, because in there you get specific information about how many trials you should have at a minimum in there. And so then your data table would have to be a little bit different, because you would need to have spaces in there for sand and gravel, and then the correct number of trials for sand, and then the correct number of trials for gravel. There is no soil in this one. There was a note on the front page that said that there was no soil, so you do not have to worry about that in your box. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. I think that's it. If you have questions though, please let me know. And if you have the questions, please make sure that you're sending them through the Canvas message system and not through the comments, because I only see the comments when you submit your lesson. Okay, thank you.